We're live. It's the local support sprinting week, and we've got Faith, and we've got Matt, and we've got Sam, and time for more sprinting. Let's review things that are working. We look at so many things that are not working, did we? Let's look at things that work very excitingly. Hopefully it will work. We'll see. Matt and I yesterday, after a breakthrough from Joseph on the previous day, we've got sort of a production version of the site. Joseph is here. Yay, Joseph. Hey, Joseph. That I can't spell. Is live here on its own fresh box. There it is. Yes. Ooh. So that's nice. And I guess what will we were on the cusp of doing some things, Matt, weren't we? What were those things?
We need to check to see if we can send email.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so on the Docker box. Yeah, so we're having this. So Met Plus is set up. What did I dream it was looking? That they're using emails and they're just sort of logging in directly into an email account of the like a Gmail one, and they're using that to send stuff somewhere in my teaming tabs. I think I'll just turn off my screen share momentarily so I don't expose the variables. Let's go. It should be another window, but yeah, it's there. Yeah, I can see that they've, yeah, it's on a different window. They've got in their Docker app, they've got an SMTP address, password, port, username, and they're basically kind of like logging into Gmail and just send. I guess they've created a Gmail account for their thing, and then they're sending via it, which is one way. It means that the emails that get sent come from metplus.pets@gmail.com, which is doesn't look quite as professional as alternative setups that one might have. We have got on the main system, we've got SendGrid being used on Heroku. And we've got a SendGrid password and username, and we've got the app currently configured to work with a SendGrid password and SendGrid username. So perhaps the simplest thing to try would be just to set the SendGrid password and username in the configuration variables on this new production app, and then test doing a password reset and see if it sends the email using the existing kind of Heroku supported account. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I guess that there. I mean, I can sort of do that in the background. I guess there's other things to maybe be looking at. I guess before I dive into that and like end up finding that it doesn't work and then start debugging it. When has that ever happened? We could just reflect on, are there other things that need to be done apart from that too? So I thought I had a ticket in here for this. Some reason I look at these things and I go blind. Oh, there we go. Migrate to Docker Azure. That's it. That's what we're working on. And so here, yeah. I mean, I guess there's other things that we want to do, but in terms of being able to switch over the kind of where the domain names are pointing and turn off the expensive Heroku server, if the email sending works, then I think we're good to go, unless I've missed something.
I made a list. I think we still need to do, like, we need to set up the email. We need to check on like which of the Heroku environment variables we need to copy over, because at the moment we just have one. I guess we have the well, no, we have two. We have the Gmail and we have that Doku something. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. There's not many. I mean, I've got in another screen here all of the environment variables for the production box, and scanning through them, I can see ones that we yeah, there's most of them are just sort of Heroku ones. Yeah, there's a few others, but that's I can kind of do that in the background, and then you can look.
And what about have we pushed what we pushed up there was the production database already?
It was not the very latest production. It was a fairly recent snapshot. So before actually switching it over, we should do a final copy. Although to be honest, that could be done. I mean, the site has such low activity that could be done, at approximately the same time as everything else. But yeah,
and we need to link the CNAME to the, because we're not going to change the site. We're not going to change it to production dot.
No. We'll just have the www. That will be the thing that finally takes it across. But so I mean, I think probably I can do checking this email sending, other things in the background. Maybe there are other things in the board that we want to work on. I can kind of go into the background and be available for questions. And if you folks wanted to pair on the mobile thing or other bits and pieces, do we have any questions arising from the client meeting? I managed to click through accept, and we got restarts on various things. What are people's priorities at the moment?
I guess I can go first since I'm not muted. I mean, I don't really have lots of things that I can work on without getting feedback first. And I already brought this up in the Scrum, so I can repeat myself if you want.
Well, that is the highlight. You're looking for feedback on the geocoder.
So I went to that top ticket, that check-in correct VCR YAML for this test. Like you suggested that I do combine those two issues and maybe just be able to take care of them together. So that one now is, upgrade. You can see the latest commit, self-explanatory. And the way forward would be to, I mean, we still have 21 failing tests, something like this. So maybe they're not all failing for the same reason, but more importantly, it's failing like the manual testing. Like if you go to the site, it's just broken because it expects to have Google Maps. So we need to go through our maps.js, and we need to, kind of convert all of the Google Maps into OpenStreetMaps using, there's something called, leaflet that we can use for OpenStreetMaps if we want to move on to the newest geocoder. Otherwise, we can stay on the next to last version that it's already on, and then we move forward with that. But I mean, at some point, maybe we will want to actually bump it up to, because presumably the gem's going to keep upgrading, and we're going to be stuck on an old version. So I'm not sure. Just need to get feedback. Is that something that we really want to do? Because it's not something that's going to be something quick.
But that's a complicated thing. It's difficult to say.
I mean, potentially, I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll just go all completely smoothly, but I guess not, because we don't just have the map. We have info boxes and that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a fairly involved thing to try and do. But yeah, we need to investigate further. Sorry, go on.
No, I was cutting you off. And then the remove WebKit, that's like, don't know if what the process is of how we're going to decide whether to get that merged in or not, but that's there to be reviewed by you and decide whether we should merge that through and move on from WebKit. And then, with the mobile first stuff, I can help out. I paired with Joseph on that yesterday. And from what I understand, it's like, there's a couple maybe giving alternatives for the client to be able to work with. And that's me. But other than that, it's and there's the whole researching. Like, it'd be nice to start working with the API stuff to bring in events and be able to get because it seems like, that you were saying that one of the highest priorities this week as well is to release the events functionality on production, which I'm not sure if we need the events API, but it would definitely be a huge help if we did have no.
Yeah, I don't think I was saying it was a priority to release the events this. I mean, this week. I think it's I think it's the clear functional high priority from the client. But yeah, I think before we release it, there's there's other things, and higher priority than that was updating the old data in the organizations before the events.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounds to me like the mobile thing is perhaps the least controversial of all of these different things. So I mean, I can do these settings things in the background, and you and Joseph, if Joseph's free now, you could be pairing on that, and I could be here in the background available to help if necessary.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Yeah. So shall I switch the screen to Matt, yours, or Joseph? Where were you in your pairing sequence?
I mean, I haven't done any driving. I'm just kind of in helping out in a support role.
Sure.
Yeah, I've pushed. I'm about to raise a PR with work in progress. Then you can pull and Max,
great.
you can drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can if you want, but I'm not. I don't need to. I'm happy if you want to drive. Either way, you know, I think I have plenty of opportunities to drive, but or maybe Faith wants to drive. You know, I mean, Faith is here, and
Yeah, actually.
But yeah, I was going to say, Joseph, do you want to share your screen and show us what you're doing with the pull request and so on, and then you take it away from there?
I think that was a yes.
There we go. So I've locked the video onto Joseph's screen, and yeah, I'll go quiet for a bit. I know that's disturbing, but yeah, I'll try and get on with this conflict thing in the background.
Faith, did you want to do some driving?
Yes.
Awesome. I like how you almost always answer yes to that question. So Faith, do you have an idea of what we're doing with this? Because I can explain quickly.
Yep.
I mean, so you kind of were there.
I'm talking and no one is hearing what I'm saying because I was muted.
There you go.
You were muted.
Yeah, I'll say I tried to push, but I didn't have access to Agile Ventures local support, so I had to fork. It's not like RFM.
Well, I can give you access if you want it, Joseph.
No, it's fine. Because I've already done the setup. Don't want the setup to go to waste.
Sure.
I've added the origin. Yep. Now I was about to add the upstream, and then So
cool.
Change this.
So you have origin and upstream set as your remotes.
Yeah.
You just need to.
I'm about to add the upstream now.
Okay.
Yeah. Add. Sorry, git remote. I usually.
Oh, that's interesting. You have a set URL. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Instead of deleting. I use it to just change the URL of the origin because before you'll have to delete.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
Yeah. So.
So you have to actually add the, I think, upstream. So that works if you want to change the name. If you want to change.
Sorry. Add upstream. Upstream?
No, you just need once. You're gonna get remote add upstream, and then
Oh yeah, actually.
now you should have both.
Yep.
Nice.
But it's lying. I cannot push.
Yeah. I mean, like Sam said, he can give you access, but that's how I have it set up locally as well. Like on website one and LocalSupport and a lot of other projects, a lot of open source projects do it like that. And then it's, you know, when you go to the GitHub interface, it's easy to make a pull request in between your fork and the.
Yeah.
So.
I just wanted to move that. Oh, I need to share again. Yep. So that's done. So I even have the is the PR. And I should add the come on. Okay,
Why
I'll
does it
just copy. I'll just copy the whole thing. I do like a hashtag.
Yeah, I think like with LocalSupport, it's like on the last commit before you're ready for it to be merged in. You put like in square brackets and put fixes and then that number, and then in the comments you put addresses and then the URL of the ticket on Pivotal Tracker.
Yeah. Oh, so I don't need this in the pull request then.
In the podcast title, I don't think so. I think it's in the last commit, but I don't know if you. I don't think you did do it in the last commit though. Although I'm not sure. Like, so is the idea that Faith is going to pull down these changes and she's going to like go
Add
changing things? We're going to take screenshots, or we're going to just do different branches with the changes.
Different branches. I don't know. Or
I guess like from my perspective, if we change things and we just take a screenshot and then the client really likes it, then we need to kind of we
different
decide one we like but if it's not the one the client likes, then we need to change the code. Whereas if we did a couple like, you know, 2 branches or 3 branches, then whichever one the client likes, you can just accept. But I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. So how do you go back and edit again?
Well, you could like do a amend commit and add it to the commit message.
No, like I want to. Oh, yeah, this is what I was looking for. The description.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To add the addresses.
Yeah. Inside. So maybe to add the URL for the PC board.
I can send you the URL for the pivotal tracking. Where is it? Mobile. Let me search for it. Mobile. Here we go. Okay, so I sent you
Yeah, let me copy it.
the link.
Copy.
I'm not sure if it specifically needs to say addresses or if it just needs to have the URL, but like in the README, it's like addresses and then the URL. You know what I mean?
What? No.
Like if you just write the word addresses and then copy the URL so the URL is visible. I'm not, but maybe it's not needed. I don't know.
Yeah, I just wanted to add the screenshots now. Okay, I'll do that. Maybe.
So I guess if I don't know if anyone else has any other opinions on whether it's better to create branches or just go changing this and taking screenshots.
I guess I was going to say that I think it's like maybe fun to have branches, and then you can actually like the branches could be deployed so that they would be, because screenshots is one thing. You know, one might want to get what's the word? You know, like the client to be actually able to use each of those different branches. So we could deploy those different branches to different boxes, and it's easier to deploy them and have them running in parallel if they're on different branches. But yeah, you can certainly take screenshots for the purpose of the pull requesters.
Cool. So then I guess, Faith, maybe you could create another branch with the with that issue number that I shared there on the, like maybe share your screen.
Okay.
Because we don't, if that's the case, then we don't need to wait for Joseph.
Yeah, I had an extension or plugin. I've forgotten the name, where you can. It takes the screenshot of the whole page, so you don't have to like take half screenshots. I've forgotten the name.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if anybody knows. Can't.
That sounds like a very useful tool. Yeah, take screenshot of entire mobile page.
Not even mobile or web page.
Are you in Firefox?
There's a website screenshot. Somebody's mentioning a website screenshot app which is on the App Store.
You have on, if you're using Firefox like you were yesterday, there's one called Full Web Page Screenshots. That's an add-on as well. Has 186,000 users.
Okay, Firefox.
Yeah, are you still on Firefox or? And
No.
the issue is working on Doku production. Yay! That's amazing. Our expectation was that it would work.
And wouldn't it have made such a huge difference if we could have stated the expectation in advance of it?
I know, right?
I don't know. I mean, am I being too cynical? I don't know. It's go on. Sorry.
I was going to say there's quite a lot of blogs being written about that recently.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. Strong feelings.
Faith, were you going to share your screen or did you?
Oh, I am going to share.
Awesome. I mean, not that, what you're doing, Joseph, is not, extremely exciting, but,
Yeah. So you said the extension is called what?
It's called, I can send you a link to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Full Page Web Shots. I don't know, something like that. And it's, yeah. Seem to be happy with it. I'm noting here that maybe we want to change our React bots to, because it says we're working on AV front end.
Yeah. And that's a reminder. And anybody, if you do /remind list, anybody can delete that and change that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
/?
Yeah, just try so /remind space list. Maybe it's only accessible to admins or something, but we could make you an admin of Slack. But oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I said I would add more emojis on
Emojis,
Slack,
because there's not enough emojis. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have. I see only Faith can add.
Well, we'll have to improve your.
Yeah.
Oh wow! And could at least reading data from the Do It API is working on the production server as well.
Nice.
So that's
there's actually 2 reminders of React mobs in here, and it doesn't seem like they can be edited, just deleted.
Yeah, that's one of the annoying things about them. I do have like a copy of them like committed into a repo somewhere, probably in Agile Ventures, and yeah, you have to delete them and recreate them in order to edit them.
Is it safe to say that maybe it seems like recently Federico's been kind of sending reminders about the React mob?
Yeah, so you could just delete those 2 for the time being, and then yeah, that's I'd say that was highly proactive and expedient.
Okay, cool.
Well, and I would say, looking at this, setup here, we haven't tested absolutely everything on the Harrow CN on Doku, but it's looking pretty promising in terms of the emails working and so on. I mean, I guess what I would be tempted to do in the background now is pull down that data from the latest site and do the just do the changeover, and see what the fallout is really. Yeah, I don't think we've got too much to lose, and we would start saving money immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And we could then be moving on to lots of these other things to try and help clear up the project, get rid of WebKit, and make it easier for people to contribute. So
nice.
I will have a go at that in the background.
So
Faith?
yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead then.
Sorry?
You called me.
I was just wondering if you had any questions or.
Oh yeah. Do you have an existing answer to understand what this thing is all about? So I was looking at the pivotal board.
Yep.
If we have an issue for this.
Oh yes, we do. Yep, it's their the branch number, like the issue. It's at the bottom there. Implement mobile suggestions from client. The second from the bottom.
Yes.
So we were kind of working on that second action item, the making the map smaller and below the search bar. I guess so. Maybe you would want. I didn't think about making another branch. Doesn't help you to see how the progress that Joseph has made on how he tackled the issue, and also we didn't get feedback from Sam on the tactic that was taken. So I don't know if it would be helpful for Joseph to explain what he did, and then we can dive into looking at the code as well. What do you guys think?
An explanation would be good.
Yeah, I think so, no? Because I'm curious if there's a different, a different way of doing it, or. Because I guess like the thing is about like I guess what I can explain while Joseph is muted, and then he can explain more how he did it, is that the there's two columns on these on these pages. Like if you look at if you look in your VS Code, you can see that there's like a layout called two columns with map. And then that has like a column 1, which yields to the map. Yeah, I'll wait till you pull it up. Probably easier.
So, where exactly?
I just do Control P, so I probably not the best. No, I think it's an app.
What's that?
App.
What am I looking for?
Control P, yeah.
What am I looking for?
You're looking for two columns with map, but I think I know where it is as well. It's in. Yeah, there we go. So it's in app views, I think, and then after that, I'm not sure. Application maybe. So you can see there that you have like the map container. Well, first of all, you have column 2. Is this Joseph's branch or is this?
It's Joseph's.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, so you can see. Well, Joseph, you sorry, you swapped them around, and now column 2 is at the top of the page, and column 1's at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, because when I swap the divs using JavaScript, it wasn't working if it was like column 1 and 2 below.
All right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So just change.
Oh, sorry, guys. I forgot to go and change.
I was like, I'm not a JavaScript expert, but maybe we can.
Sorry, my bad.
I feel like the name of the ID shouldn't make a difference to JavaScript, but it's like thinking logically, like, no, that doesn't make sense. Column 2 should be on the left. So yeah, I guess like it's column 1 and at the top and column 2 at the bottom, but anyways, it's not that important. And you have like, so now in the column 2 you have it yields to the map, which has there that div with ID map canvas. You can see is like an empty div, but that is being populated by the map. And then you have the map legend, which has like the different markers that the color coded markers, because there's different like volunteer opportunities like Do It and Haro, CN and others. I can't remember all of them. And then you have the column 1, which yields the content that goes like that you're accustomed to seeing on the right side of the web page, like that has the search bar and the header and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me just do this.
Actually, if you repeat that.
Yeah, so the like on line 15 that yield that is column 1 is exactly what you're looking at there on the that's really cool, man. You guys in your VS Code, this, or I don't know if that's VS Code or Mac or what that is, but that's awesome. You can just like drag it and drop it into the browser and have a side-by-side view of it. And it's all like color coordinated because your theme on your browser is like, black and colorful as well. I need to step up my game, I'm living in the past. Yeah, so line 15 is yielding that stuff that you see on the column on the right, which that on this particular page, you're on the volunteer ops because it's the home page, right?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to look at, specifics about that, you would find that in the, well, you probably know where you would find that, right?
What?
In this this homepage.
Find what?
The code for the for this, like, want to volunteer in Harrow and all that kind of stuff.
Faith, I think Matt is saying that if you wanted to find the content in the site that corresponds to, like, in the web page, want to volunteer in Harrow, you'd know where to look for that. But
yeah,
maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. Would you feel confident about finding where that code would lie in the Rails app?
I would, in the views, but I'll do maybe a command, global search of this word, and
search for the text as well. That's another good way to find it. Yeah, why don't you? I mean, you sound a little unsure. So yeah, why don't you check that you can find it?
So I think, like, but in general, Faith, like, the names of, like, the files for the home pages, like all the different home pages for in a Rails app. Do you remember?
Yeah. So I expect everything to be in the views.
Yep. And this is like the volunteer is you can see from the breadcrumbs is like the home page. Yep. Exactly.
Oh.
So yeah, you have the show where it's like, show me this volunteer opportunity, for example.
So yeah, you're currently on a list of volunteer opportunities, and so the question is then, what's the Rails template that usually corresponds to the list of something?
I don't know what that is.
It rhymes with
it rhymes with Bindex. Does it?
Yeah, I was going to say spandex. Yeah. So the index, yeah, because when the home page goes to the index controller, right? I was saying that you know this because you explained that before, to remember the convention over configuration. So yeah, this is where you have you have there, you can see on line 2, you have one to volunteer in Harrow. And then on line 4, you have like a render search form.
So this.
Yeah, exactly. So then we have this partial, right?
Yeah.
And then you can, if you want to explore that, like, you can see where you have the placeholder and all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, I guess, like, Joseph, do you want to explain what you did yesterday, or do you want me to keep explaining, or?
I'm muted.
Yep.
Yeah. So okay, so I had to swap the search bar with the map, and to do that I needed to use JavaScript, and that's what I did. I went there, if you can see my screen, to the maps.javascript inside the initializer function, and I just added this there. That's where I marked, so that would be convenient if the code should be put there. And so I've just I changed the swap to column 1 to column 2, and then I reverted back the changes. So it's just I get the first column, if you can see on your HTML or maybe the reaction. So I'm just getting this item. So the first div here, I can, yeah. So there are two divs on this HTML. So I just swap them. So the first column moves to where the second column is, and the second column moves to the first column. So it's just like copying this and putting it on top, but only if we are in mobile view. So that's where I do this check if the content, which is which is content, which is how many? Okay. Yeah, this the content, the size of the screen, the width, if it's less than 400 pixels. So as you can see, currently the width is 360 pixels on a Galaxy S5. So that will be true. And then I just swap column 1 with column 2. And then I change the height of the map canvas, which is this part right here. So the map canvas, this one, I set it to um, 320 pixels, because the default, like, okay, this is not even the default. It's quite tall. So I just
400 minus 14 or something.
Yeah. Actually, it will be like not 400, but 700 or 600
Yeah.
minus 14. So it will be here like
yeah. Okay.
yeah,
So content height.
it's
Yeah.
the whole height of this,
Yeah.
and it's quite long. Yeah, so it's like 700 pixels.
I guess does that make sense, Faith? And maybe we could get Sam's opinion on that tactic before we.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But if the user um, selects like a desktop view on the mobile phone after the page has loaded, then because we did a swap, this is what on the mobile view the content would look like. The map will be on the other side, and yeah. But why would you want to view a mobile?
In desktop mode? Well, on GitHub,
Yeah.
I find the desktop mode of GitHub on mobile to be much far superior to their mobile version. But the consumer, we're sort of we get off into the area where we don't need to worry too much. That's a great way of having addressed that issue. I think some people might have preferred to use CSS to reorder instead of JavaScript. I mean, I guess back in the day, people would think that the JavaScript might not be supported. Of course, everybody has JavaScript these days, so maybe it's fine. I was just doing switches. There are I think there are, various people talking about using Flexbox and Grid and so on to do the reordering. I think that we're using Bootstrap, and there's I mean, this is one is like reordering CSS columns. I guess we are trying to, maybe that's what we're trying to do. I don't know. I mean, and obviously you've got the subtleties of we're trying to pull one part of one column out and move it into a different place. But I think that the sort of what I see as the standard approach is trying to use media queries in combination with the CSS so that we move things around. I mean, maybe ultimately we'll find doing precisely like pulling that one element out, the JavaScript ends up being the best way. But I wonder, had you looked at all at the mechanisms for reordering CSS?
Yeah, but then I had to like change the HTML itself. Cause with reordering, then I had to like target the end child and move the end child. Swap them with using media query. I looked at that and it was like a lot of work.
Okay. Yeah. No, if you considered it all and it all didn't work, and we've got one that's working, then that's sort of simpler. Then great.
Yeah, because with media query you just maybe change the length of the height and the length. You don't move things on top and others on.
Sorry, so you've got like some background noise that somebody dropped some plates in the background there. Just as you were saying, like with the media query, you have only the something.
Yeah, with media query, most of the time you just change the height or the width.
Right.
So like if the screen is small, you change the font.
Sure, indeed, that's what it's for. But so I think we've also got this thing. Did you look at the Bootstrap push and pull classes that support column reordering?
No, you can send the link.
Yeah. So then this is like, I haven't used this. I don't, like this may be of just academic. I'm trying to find what have I done with Slack.
Well, I mean, particularly since we're going to have different, like we have a couple different things, like we want to have different options for the client to look at. And also we have the idea that in the way we do it with JavaScript, there's not an easily identifiable way that we can make the map in between because it's part of a different column. So maybe by doing things with trying things with the Bootstrap, we can move just the header and the search bar above the map,
Indeed. I mean, it brings back up the issue of like, which order should they all go in and so on. Yeah.
Actually, let's use that with Faith and let's see how it's going to go.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Then at least, like, if nothing else, like we'll get a little bit of experience on. Because I think like when we met yesterday, Joseph, we both kind of had that idea of like, having seen making modifications in CSS based on that media. And that's what we first talked about, but then kind of we ended up taking a different route. But I think particularly since Faith is going to do a different branch, we should explore the other one.
Breaking up. Kind of lost a bit of what Joseph said and a bit of what Matt said. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, I mean, I think the JavaScript one might turn out ultimately to be the one that is the best. We will. There's probably more fine-grained control using JavaScript, but it's definitely a good idea to consider the different options. Can you folks all hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, cool. Well, I'm just going to paste the link to the thing on the Bootstrap column reordering thing. I mean, I said partly because we I mean, for better or for worse, the site's using Bootstrap, I think, and so I guess no one's sharing that layout screen at the moment, but the layout is like all of those columns. They are Bootstrap columns, aren't they?
Yeah. I think we're using Bootstrap 3, but
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, so much stuff is so old in the whole
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh well, in fact, there. But looking at right. So we've got, yeah, we do have two Col MD6s in that the 2-column stuff, and then flex rows. But, right. In the background, I've grabbed the latest data from the production system, pushed it up to the from Heroku, and pushed it up to the one from Doku, and other things being equal, I think I'm going to just switch. I've got the thing ready to go. I think I'm going to switch over the CNAME and see if we can get the the site live on Doku, and assuming that's up, and once I've checked that it's done, we can turn off the Heroku app and save some money. Yeah. Who doesn't want to save money? That sounds good. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's really something to highlight in a retrospective. If only we had like a weekly retrospective.
If only we had a weekly retrospective that was awesomely turned into a podcast by a very talented young man every week. If only. God, yeah. Are you listening? So I'll probably break for lunch in a minute, but you folks carry on. It would be great. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like bumbling across in the background. I'm going to shut up and just like monitor this changeover in the background. But yeah, and I'll relock the screen on Joseph and carry on.
Faith is driving.
It's Faith.
I'll put it on. Yep, it's on Faith now.
Yep. And Matt, if you want to stop sharing, maybe your screen.
I thought I did stop sharing. Now I stop.
Okay, Faith. We're going to use Bootstrap.
Okay, and I'm still seeing your changes.
What?
I wonder what I've done.
You have to check out from develop. Don't take off.
I was just gonna say sometimes I need to. I don't know about VS Code, but sometimes in Atom I need to close the editor and reopen it.
It should change automatically. Yes, it's in develop. This is in develop. Joseph.
Sorry. Yeah. No, I don't think that's been pushed into development. Did you try closing the editor and reopening it?
Yeah, plus the editor states it's in develop. So if I check out to say if I check out to
no, that's
not really. Okay.
So before we finish checking out, let me go and grab some lasagna quickly and then give me 2 minutes. You got that? Wait.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You see, Matt?
Yes.
You see, when I switched to develop, I was being told that your branch is ahead of Or just let me just delete the branch and fetch. Or do you have another solution?
Sorry, I'm just trying to understand what the issue is and look at the commands that you ran. Because you created a new branch, the map below search bar, right?
Yeah.
And you created that from the develop branch?
Yes. Yes. But for some reason the get full.
You can also like instead of deleting the branch and recreating you but yeah I think it's fine, but you can as well if you want to do like a git reset.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then like origin develop, but anyways you already did,
so but I could delete and do what you're telling me so that I know what you're talking about. So what should I do? Git reset.
Yeah, git reset, and then you have like origin / develop.
So this,
and then you and then you do but with a tag like hyphen hard.
Hyphen.
Yeah, you need a space. Yeah, space hyphen hard. So like this is, you want to be careful when doing this, like, because it's destructive. Like you'll lose whatever you have locally. But particularly if on the develop branch you want your develop branch to be the same as the the remote develop branch that lives at. I mean, sorry, I'm assuming I'm making some assumptions here that you have. Actually, it's not origin. Sorry, it's upstream. Assuming that you have upstream set for the Agile Ventures local support.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't check that, but assuming that's the case.
Assuming that's true, yeah, but yeah.
And then this might not do anything because you should be the same, but yeah. So just be careful when you run this command. But in this case, I think when you're trying to rebase it to whatever lives at the current develop branch, it's okay.
Okay.
Although maybe Sam's in the background going, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing? I wasn't actually listening carefully to the last 2 minutes. I've just taken the site. I've turned off the Heroku box. We are busy saving money as we speak, and the site does appear to be live. But I'm very happy to. What did you want to tell me more about what you're doing?
I was just she was experiencing some issues where she was like she felt like her local develop branch was not a true representation of like the upstream develop branch,
right.
And so she was saying like deleting her local develop branch and then creating a new one and pulling from the develop branch. And I was just saying that you could, if you wanted to, reset it to the upstream develop, and then I was saying that to be careful using like a hard reset because it's a destructive action. But in this case, you want your local develop branch to be the same as the upstream develop branch. So I think it's okay in this case, but maybe
I mean, it's a funny thing, particularly when you've got the if you've got a fork, and then you kind of, I mean, I did a diagram for Stella one time, because you basically, once you've got a fork, you've potentially got like 4 or more different places where the code can be, and then like updating it is kind of like I mean, the key thing to be doing before deleting or resetting is doing the git status and checking if there's any changes that you've got locally that you need. But really, one shouldn't do anything in the local develop branches. They should just be only something that you've just recently updated to whatever the develop branches that everybody else is working from, and then you use them to branch off and create feature branches and bug fix branches. I would say.
Yeah, that's the thing, because like if you do have changes to, well, I guess you could have accidentally made changes to your, like, didn't realize you're in your develop branch, and then there's you might want to dash those and use those after you create a branch. So yeah.
And I've definitely done that before, just showing people some stuff or thinking about something. And I mean, there's no need in principle to necessarily reset or delete. What you could just be doing, I mean, like if your developer branch is sitting there, is you could just be doing git pull upstream develop, and then that would pull in the latest changes. I mean, that's assuming that your current develop branch on your local machine is at some commit that's in the normal history path of the main upstream develop.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. And if they're not, then it can give you like a merge conflict, and you can
right, and then ultimately that you can stash or reset the merge or delete the branch and just to pull it down fresh.
Okay, so I did this git pull upstream develop, but my develop was not the same as the one on GitHub.
So you did git pull upstream develop there, and but then you're still finding you think there are changes there are differences from the develop that's on upstream.
Yes.
And what is it that makes you think that there are differences?
The Joseph's changes were still reflecting on my develop.
Oh, okay. So, but if you do git status on your develop, it says there's okay. So yeah. So okay, and I could see that you've got the git status there and there's no changes. That reflects that you've previously pulled Joseph's branch into your develop. If you're still seeing them there, so then in which case, yeah, you would be sensibly deleting your local develop branch and repulling it out from the upstream. I mean, you could check, and then that's a hypothesis there. You could check that hypothesis by doing git log and looking through to see if you've got the changes. Of course, the other thing to be aware is, of course, maybe you may have them cached in the editor. So there's, restarting the editor as well. But so, yeah, if you do the log and look through, it's not immediately showing you anything.
Well, I think like now she's already done both deleting the develop branch and creating a new one and pulling from the develop, and she's done a reset hard. So I think it wouldn't still be there, would it?
Okay. Certainly, yeah. If you've done all those things, it wouldn't. But so, are you still? If you open the editor now, are you still seeing the changes that the Joseph's ones?
No.
No. Okay. So it's been addressed.
Yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on that. Doing a reset on the develop branch, because I've done it before and talked to people and tried to tell them to be careful when you do it. But I think in the case of like using it to rebase to the remote, like upstream develop, that it's okay. But
yeah, I'm just not sure if it would have the desired effect. It might do. I mean, like normally, resetting is about discarding local uncommitted changes. But so if the changes that she had were ones that were actual commits that were pulled in from somewhere else, then resetting, I'm not sure. Maybe it would. Maybe reset.
Yeah, I've used it before.
Sets you back to a specific commit thing and restore. Guards everything else. So conceivably, yeah, I tend not to use it except when I'm backing out of a merge.
Yep.
Yes. So, well, I've turned off the Heroku server, and you might all like to check out the system running on the Doku. I'm going to go off and have my lunch, and there's a whole series of things we should be looking at to do with like monitoring, but database backups and things now that we're on this platform. But yeah, sorry, I'll shut up and let you get on with the mobile thing.
All right, bye for now.
Thanks.
Was that which Joseph was that? Is that Sam Joseph or is that Josipovich?
I think it was both of us.
I think you were the inspiration behind it. I'm gonna need to go get breakfast soon as well.
In 5 minutes, I should be dropping as well.
What?
Imagine.
What? So I guess I don't know how much we're gonna get accomplished in 5 minutes, but
lasagna.
How did you want to handle it, Faith? Did you want to have a look at the thing that Sam sent us and go reading through it together, and then, or do you want to just try to skim it and try implementing something, or how do you want to do it?
I wanted to do both. All the things that you said.
Everything. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I like. That's a sensible option.
But we have 4 minutes, so we need to decide what we're going to do with the 4 minutes.
Exactly. A lot of times it takes 4 minutes to decide what we're going to do. We could do that. We could go around the circle and everyone can give their opinion on what we should do, and then we won't have any time left.
I know I have a call till 8. Like, that's the last. I'll be free as from 5 p.m. UTC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I need to check with Sess. I'm supposed to pair with her on recurring event stuff, but we could, I could check with her, and you could definitely join us if you'd like. Or,
what time will you be pairing?
I hope to be pairing the rest of the day, but with Sess, I'm supposed to. We kind of have tentatively set it up for that 5 p.m. UTC time.
Okay. And Joseph?
What about me?
Will you? What are you planning to do? Will you be pairing with Matt or?
Yeah, I might, but yeah, I'm currently working on not working, actually learning Node with Socket.io so that we can pair with Matt on the chat. But hey, what happened to the chat?
Yeah, we definitely want to do that, but you shouldn't need to learn anything about Node, because remember, we have a server already.
It's
we're going to be communicating with. So I guess I need to. What I can do is I can talk to the client, and I can make sure that I get an idea of what exactly we should be doing. But I probably will just work on that either when it's really late your time, maybe. But I was thinking maybe just do that next week during the general week. But so I guess I'm going to create an event for an hour from now, maybe. That we're gonna keep sprinting on agile event on local support stuff. And then at 2, so you're welcome to join us on that. And
there's a Phoenix one.
Oh, right, yeah.
So this will be 6 back. Sorry, not 6.
4:30 your time.
4:32. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not that's
so
not
happening
UTC,
in
right?
Huh?
Is that UTC?
East African time.
That's
this
our
is my
time. In like.
So in 4 minutes. 6.
Oh, really?
6. Yeah. Quick max.
Oh, right. Oh, so I might try to pop in on that as well, real quick.
Yeah, please do.
But yeah, like after, I guess directly after that, maybe. We're gonna keep sprinting on something or other. And then I was just commenting that at 5 p.m. UTC, I'm supposed to be pairing with Sess on, because we were supposed to do it yesterday, but then she had troubles with. So you're welcome to join us on that. And then I think particularly maybe Faith was asking, like, if at that 5 p.m. UTC, if you wanted to pair on this mobile stuff. Is that what you were getting at, Faith, or were you just curious? Okay.
Yes, but I've retracted. I want to retract my statement because I see refactoring book club. I'd forgotten about it.
Yeah,
I'll be
that's
joining.
right.
And I thought Seth is always joining the call.
Okay, so maybe that won't happen
And I
today.
don't think she was talking about 5, so because she said she has a call from now until 8. Is that what you said, Faith?
Oh yeah, and that was before I noticed that I had refactoring. So I was aware of only my 7:30 p.m. call. I forgot about the refactoring.
Yeah.
So it's still 6 p.m. Yeah. But I think I'll be sleeping late today.
Yeah. So maybe we compare afterwards, you know? I guess I will have to double check with Sess because if she wants to go to the refactoring, I'd like to go to the refactoring book club as well, actually. But so maybe afterwards, after that, we can break off into different pairs and keep going, or we can talk on Slack, I guess.
Okay, I can't promise I'll talk on Slack, but yeah.
Oh really? Oh yeah, because you have an interview thing right now. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, when I say talk on Slack, I just mean like, you know, see you at the refactoring book club. Hopefully, is what I meant to say.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, Josipovich out.
Out. Drop the mic. See you guys soon.
Out of.
See ya.